How's it gaming, guys? I'm PhilInTheBlanks. Welcome back to Turnabout Samurai. We have some more testimony from Old Bag.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Old Bag, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
A lot of you just forget, huh? I actually just want to ask her. Yep. Come on, blah, 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 blah. Couldn't think now I remember through. Come to think now I remember. Like, come on. Like, what's wrong with you? Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased?
A fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
That's sort of important. Jeez. What kind of, like... Is there been, like, a real... I mean, obviously this has probably happened, but I want to see, like, a real big murder trial, like a movie star, and then one of the witnesses just been like, yeah, there was also someone else. And it's like, well, shit, that's important, man. Oh, wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area.
Yes, we saw that. We saw that right near the end of the investigation area, or portion of the chapter.
The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside and, well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and? They're kids. Children. Whippersnappers.
Kids? So, on the photo that you erased?
It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
What? Yeah, so in other words, not as important as we once thought it was. Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh yes, well we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade? I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear.
Impossible, I'd think. It's quite heavy. Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. Well, I mean, he was just a kid. Like, he couldn't lift the spear. They're saying, like, it is actually quite heavy, so.
This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time.
Yeah, seriously. It'll be an ongoing problem. October 18th, 11:08, outside the courtroom. Mr. Powers?
Yes?
Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio.
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So, who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo?
How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now.
Nick, what are we going to do?
First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this.
Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day.
Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey, Nick, it's time.
Okay, let's go.
What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that.
Oh, poor Will Powers. Wouldn't it be something if it turns out he was the killer? Wouldn't it be something if there was a chapter or a case where you actually defend the killer? Wouldn't that be interesting? Yes.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter?
The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Guilty. Very well, Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent, really, because it happens all the time. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed murder? The assistant girl, the grade school boy, the security lady. I personally think the assistant girl could have. The correct answer for this is the security lady. I kind of want to see what it's going to say. Assistant girl. It was the assistant. The Steel Samurai costume was in his dressing room. She stole it, and in doing so, she became the Steel Samurai. So you're saying the Steel Samurai in this picture is really the assistant? That's correct, Your Honor. No, it is not. If you're serious, you've got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember this photo? Wasn't the Steel Samurai a little lame? He was dragging his foot. Oh, and that's why. Actually, that makes sense why he couldn't be here, because she did not know that he hurt his leg. Oh, that's actually really clever. That's why you can't choose that. Oh, I'm glad I chose it anyways, because now I get to see. Oh, uh-oh, bad feeling time. Remember the testimony concerning Powers' injury. Powers and poor Hammer were at the run-through. Oh, and me. What about the assistant? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. The assistant knew nothing of Mr. Powers' injury. She could look the Steel Samurai. She looked the Steel Samurai look with that costume. But she couldn't walk the Steel Samurai walk. Oh, that's what you were getting at. She wouldn't have limped. Ugh. That kind of takes the legs out from under that case. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I have to penalize you, as I warned. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Blah, 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 blah. One more chance. Alright, so we're gonna say the security lady, just to buy some time. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper! Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag? Did you kill him? Oldbag? That's Ms. Oldbag to you. She does have a ring. So is she married or is she like a widow, maybe? Yeah. Ms. Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her pictures. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock's Holmes II, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. Damn. Alright, send them to the gulag, off with their head. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something! What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. Yeah, press further. Do not give Granny a break. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Ms. Oldbag's actions on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy! The one whose photo I erased! He's only a grade schooler though, as you said. 2nd or 3rd grade, was it? That doesn't matter.
When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure?
Oh, or is it to be nice? Is it be nice to the kids and mean to your eldest day, whippersnapper? I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed? Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder. Do I? Guide map? No. Card key? Dang. So the card key. Why not? The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. Well, I got it right. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key?
I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this?
The windbag. Speechless. This has got to be a first.
Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Mrs. Windy. What was her name?
Something old bag, Your Honor. I love he's just looking at his paper too. He's like, I don't really care.
Then the prosecution will look further into this old bag before we continue. That is all. The court is adjourned.
Yay! We made it through. Trial. Oh no! Never mind. Never mind.
Wait a second. I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me? I'm talking.
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk.
Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom? Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk?
Well, testify.
Oh shit, we're not done. We're not done with it yet. My lips were sealed.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me just to pretend they hadn't been at the studio that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, the fact that there's other people there, that's a big deal.
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Wow, he's pissed.
You don't see the judge, like, really angry very often, but I think he's angry there. They wanted to keep me quiet about something. So you were told not to talk?
That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it.
There were some other people at the studio the day of the murder. Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. So, where were these people? And I mean, we know they were there because we saw... No, I was going to say they all had lunch together, but we saw the picture and it was just Hammer and Powers and Old Bag and Penny all there, so...
The Old Bag was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the guide map. Here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was
Oh, whoops, Phoenix. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over.
Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination?
I think I've already asked all my questions, but... no, take a break. That's all you need to know. The fact that they're giving you the choice to stop there means that clearly you can stop. Or else it'd be a loop forever, really. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer, and some bigwigs, were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers.
Guilty. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Ms. Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. I mean, you can't argue, Edgeworth. I mean, it's pretty obvious that you need to do something about this new information. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Now we've officially actually gotten through the first day of the first trial. October 18th, 1:04 p.m. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Oh, really? It's nothing. Oops, damn, I skipped that. Or should I say, or should I sniff? I don't know. I missed a thing there. It made no sense to me. We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. Also, like, why didn't Will Powers say anything? Like, he knew there was more people there. And they'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that steel samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers?
I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right. We'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Yay! All right. Well, what will happen? What will we learn? Who are these people? The director, the producer, the bigwigs. Will we learn more about that little kid who was in the Steel Samurai costume and who killed Jack Hammer? We'll find out a little bit more next episode. I'm PhilInTheBlanks. See you guys next level. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this episode, click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to know when the next episode is up. If you want to support my channel, share some videos with some friends and consider supporting me on Patreon.